Hi, my name's Chris. I'm the founder of All Will Retire. I'm so glad that you're here. You're joining us on community chat number 6. Quickly, a rundown. We are a culture coin. All Will Retire is a culture coin built around financial security, built around the idea that people should be empowered to build financial security for themselves as they best see fit, because they're the ones best to choose what that means. We're all striving for it. We're all working towards it. And we all hope that we will be able to capture the attention of the world at large, of society at large. That's what differentiates a culture coin between a meme coin. Meme coins are very ephemeral and they very much focus on traditional crypto traders, those that like volatility plays, quick swings, quick 2x's, 3x's, 4x's, or whatever runners they can find next. We actually care long term about building something sustainable, something for ourselves because it matters to us. And we hope that this universal message of, financial security, retirement for all, which, every society has its own notion of, will transcend and help build upon itself and eventually capture, as we said, that attention, the fascination, the zeitgeist of the moment for all, but also persist culturally through our values for building that wealth up for us, that financial security for us. So that's very much what we are about. Traditionally, how this goes is I kind of give some updates into what's been going on, and we kind of open up for Q&A. So what I would like to do right now is, before I get into kind of announcements of where we're going and kind of what my thoughts are, is please go ahead, request the mic. If you are interested in speaking, all are welcome. All are welcome to ask questions about AWR if they're just here exploring it for the first time. If they have thoughts and ideas about where we should go, criticisms even, we welcome people to help us learn how we can better meet the mark and onboard more demand, especially outside of the crypto Twitter and Telegram out in the real world. We want to hear from you. So please, right now, if you can, go ahead, request the mic. I'll work to approve you. And when we do Q&A, we'll chat. But without further ado, so this week has been a pretty busy week. We've been doing more kind of small administrative tasks and looking at trying to set up our next kind of push for our community to drive our push into adding more utility, more value to both current family members and future family members. And I think what's really important for us to do, especially looking at and reflecting at kind of the current landscape of maybe larger tokenized communities such as SPX and Giga. I know that the last 2 to 3 days has provided more, 5 days, 2 to 5 days, has provided more green candles, more upwards price action, which is great. We're all excited about that. But before that, a lot of what these tokenized communities were saying, all that they were really offering, especially in these down times, I'm going to pick on SPX for now, is that all we should do is persist. We just need to persist. We just need to get to the green candles, which, in of itself, who doesn't want to get to green candles? But what's really important to think about is that the message of All Will Retire is designed for real everyday people out in the real world, those that typically aren't plugged into X, those that typically aren't plugged into Telegram. Even though we're starting here, we need to keep that in mind. And so we have community members, Tiara, she's a young woman down from New Zealand who is very passionate about All Will Retire because it gives her an opportunity to explore what financial security means to her, kind of at the intersection of what she's passionate about in life. And it's kind of clicked for her that All Will Retire is very much a blank slate in how we can use it, the community, to both empower ourselves, to find resources, to grow our wealth, to put ourselves on a path to retirement, or, even smaller, if that's not what your end goal is. Maybe it's just to take that ultimate trip, that dream vacation that you've always planned on but haven't been able to yet, or pay school debt, pay for medical debt, or get a new car, or help send kids to college. That's great. But she's very much, I guess, as we would say, living life in the real world. And so coming back to it, we always need to think about how we onboard people in the real world and what message we leave them with, especially what message the community telegraphs to them after we onboard them. And so when someone gets onboarded out in the real world, and if it was us, for example, that just said, hey, when times are tough, just persist, that's not okay. It's not okay, because we'll just end up with someone wondering why they bought this asset if in the worst of times we have nothing to offer them besides just, anecdotes about, hey, times are tough, we just got to get through them. So coming back to the idea of All Will Retire being a blank slate, a way for you to explore and build financial security on your own team, on your own terms, at the intersection of your passions in your life, it's important that, I think at a minimum, people come in here feeling empowered that they're able to explore and understand what financial security is. Maybe they can't answer that today. Maybe they don't know what that is tomorrow. But being on a path where they have both a community and a community that's empowering them through financial literacy, financial knowledge around trading, different styles of trading, or different ways of accumulating wealth. It doesn't even need to be trading. Like, it's totally okay, as we've said, if someone is a part of our community and they don't hold AWR, the cryptocurrency, being here, being a part of this community, they will still spread the message if they can get something out of it, especially with regards to, as I said, like financial empowerment. So it's really important that as people onboard other people in real life, people get something out of this community. If they don't, they'll just, what does that mean? It's the meme of like the little stick figure, person poking, and, like you see it, the Ethereum symbol, and it's like, do something. We got to make sure no one in this community, whether they own All Will Retire or not, is sitting around, especially if they own All Will Retire, is sitting around looking at the crypto asset saying, do something. So, bringing this back home, the community's done amazing work over the last, really 4 weeks, 3 weeks ago, really is kind of when we concluded it, of iterating through the community's free cult labor, their passion, their drive to dedicate their time to something they care about building, to building a new website and building a merch store. And that is amazing. But we can't be SPX. We cannot allow ourselves to just tell our members now and future members in the future to just persist. If that's all we have to offer when times are bad, and as I said, I understand, we've been going up the past 5 days, that's great. That's all we have to offer. Then all we are is another volatility play. All we are is another meme coin. All we are is another vehicle for traders to take advantage of. So, what I've trying to set in motion, what I'm trying to get the community to get on board with, identify community members, leaders in the community to help drive this, is that we investigate. It started off with investigation, not a commitment, an investigation into how our community can help produce content of some kind, whether it's, still static images or it's short videos, as we have seen in our passion videos, that can help convey knowledge around basic financial literacy financial trading and approaches to it, and maybe more in general, people taking specific plays in either cryptocurrency like Hobble Retire or SPX or Giga, right, or whatever, or stocks, or just talking about bonds and stuff. We really want to have our community drive the development of potentially a knowledge base, a knowledge database around information where people feel they're empowered to build financial security on their own terms. Even if that means, they just use us as a resource of reference and not own our token, they will still go out and say, hey, there's this great community that very much cares about financial empowerment, financial well-being, that will see you for who you are, ask you how they can help you, and put you on a path. Financial security, all built around real people. No bullshit, no gimmicky ads, no KOLs, etc., or whatever, YouTubers. That's really there for you. And so I have written a doc that I have asked a community member to help drive forward to kind of put together what might look like a syllabus, or maybe like a masterclass breakdown of knowledge or subtopics to understand, even in the most basic form, as well as identify ways we can disseminate the information on Instagram and YouTube, especially the way we have done so using our signs and our short passion videos with our community members. I have asked them to help drive an investigation into what this could look like. And so Ophi, he's a community member, Ophi will be within the next week starting to drive and look into this and come up with a plan or a blueprint of what it could look like, so that we add more knowledge, more utility. That's not Web3 based, more utility to people, so that at the end of the day, when times are tough, we don't just say, hey, you just need to persist. Because again, if all we can do, all we offer at that point is just on bad days, this, hug, this, hey, we know times are tough, persist, then we're just another meme coin. We're just another volatility play. And we're trying to buck the trend. We're trying to do things different. So that's been set in motion. We hope Ophi to get going on that in the next week. Additionally, we've been trying to plug away on some new administrative tasks. Tiara, as I mentioned, I've asked her, she seems like she wants to engage more and help the community, which is amazing. We're excited for that. So she's going to try to update our merch store for both men and women to add summer apparel for both men and women, as well as I'm hoping to create a new unique set of merchandise for each country where our family members are from, that both has like the flag of their country, but also has some unique saying as that has an intersection of both financial security, but some lingo or verbiage from that country that is quickly recognizable, something that is unique to each family's country that they can be proud of, and get that in the merch store as well. And they will also be trying to iterate on the Life by Design logo. And so that's what we kind of have accomplished this week. And then looking next week, I have more of a set schedule in place where I will be trying to, in the mornings, turn on in our Telegram chat a voice video chat for 30 minutes to an hour and a half, where family members can just come say hi in the morning and say what's up, ask questions, communicate with each other more, to try to, build a more cohesive, more family environment on Telegram. But also with my set schedule, I'm trying to set up interviews with 3 people in the coming week, 2 weeks, with CoinTalk CEO, Win All Day, and HLS Crypto. And Win All Day and HLS Crypto have some pretty busy lives right now, so I haven't been able to get a hold of them. Not that CoinTalk CEO isn't busy either, but I've got more communication going on with CoinTalk CEO, so I hope to have an interview done with him, or at least scheduled this week, so we can get going and continue to promote a wonderful community and a wonderful family. So those are the updates for this week, and kind of what we're looking ahead, both kind of bigger terms in terms of adding utility and how we keep growing on that, because we always need to be thinking about that, especially with onboarding people out in the real world. What do they get after we invite them to our community? And then kind of some of the smaller updates that we've been working on this week. So with that being said, I'd love to invite family members up to say hi, introduce themselves if they haven't said hi before, and let people ask questions. Wes, why don't you go ahead and request to speak? Sandy, I see you. I think you should come say hi. We'd love to hear from you. Cyberg, I see you too. Dumb Investor, Bye Boy, and Gene, come on up, ask the mic, request it, and love to hear from you. All right, I got Wes approved.
Hello?
Hey, Wes.
Hey, what's up?
How are you?
Doing good. How about you?
Good.
You had a little bit of feedback. It wasn't terrible or anything, but there was like a little bit of an echo going on. I don't know if you switched up mics this week or something.
I'm in a different place.
Okay.
This is good feedback. Hopefully it's not too bad right now.
No, it's not terrible, but you could definitely tell there was like a slight echo to it. It like I said, it wasn't bad, or I would have interrupted way earlier.
Okay, well, good. What's going on? How are you?
I'm doing great, man.
You're a
Doing
married
great.
man now.
Yeah, enjoying my recovery Sunday. Got a nice workout in this morning. Well, not really workout, just a little bit of cardio, and then hit the cold plunge, hot tub, sauna, and then I decided to treat myself to a sour beer. So
Okay, if you know, you know.
Sipping on a nice little sour.
Okay, I got an Italian Pilsner myself.
Okay. What flavor do you have?
Flavor Italian Pilsner. I haven't had them much before. They're a little hoppier than I expected. But
okay.
Talk to me about AWR. What's on your mind?
Yeah. Well, shoot, man. Let's see here. There's a whole list of awesome stuff to go through.
Let's do it. I love that you have lists. Like, see that's important. Like, that's why we have passion. That's why we're here building it, and we always want to make sure that people can always be engaged and passionate about all we're retired, even in the tough times. Even if they need to like sideline themselves into cash at the time, they should still be able to feel like they can build.
Oh yeah, absolutely. 100% agree. And it's been it's been a wild, obviously, ride. We talk about it week after week, and this week was definitely a very interesting one. As you know, one day it's amazing, the next day it's absolute trash, the next day things are freaking seeming like out of this world, and then all of a sudden it's just a halt again. So I find it entertaining to say the least. But I think we got a little taste of all of our hard work. Not only by being recognized by quite a few people, like you said, the Gustavo, I can't recall his ex name, but you said that's the one you're trying to schedule an appointment with, right?
Yeah, CoinTalk CEO right now.
Yeah. He's been putting out some content he's already put out 2 videos in the last week, with good information, and I know you already have a relationship with him. So yeah, that was going to be actually one of the things I touched on was, what interviews you had lined up, and if HLS Crypto and Win All Day were going to be in the works. And I know I had mentioned it too. I will definitely step up to the plate and reach out to these guys, to see if they want to do an interview with like a community member or community members. I think that would be awesome too. Like if there was a couple of us,
that would be cool.
That could tune in at the same time. I'm sure it's possible, and I'm sure that we could go over that type of stuff, and I'm sure it could be edited or whatever, not like streamed live. So in case there's just whatever. I don't know how that all works. I haven't really had too much, YouTube time, so to speak.
Yeah.
But I think that, talking about all will retire and, where we're trying to go, that's actually some of the stuff I have on the list is the YouTube thing, because I think, just like you said, we're obviously doing what we can within crypto Twitter, and that has to be done. But obviously, YouTube, Instagram, all those other ones we talk about, like how that's reaching like outwardly.
Yep.
So that was a couple things I was going to suggest, actually, Chris. I was going to be, you're obviously getting a little more comfortable doing the YouTube stuff because you've been doing it. You're doing some shorts. You're obviously posting some stuff. You record these talks that we have. So I was thinking, I was like, you know what? I was like, I know it's all about the real life thing. But I was thinking that maybe because you're evolving with this, I was like, you should probably get a green screen. Like, this was one of my ideas. I'm like, it's not expensive. I know it's like whatever, like you could say it's like slightly fake or whatever, but it does step up like the professional aspect. And not only that, it'll show that you're like trying to step up your game. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like, not only am I trying to do better for the community, but I'm trying to do better for myself. I'm trying to up my game with all the aspects of social media. So I was kind of thinking that it sounds kind of dumb. You're like, oh, green screen. What am I to have? A fucking, beach in the background or whatever. But, you could, that's the cool thing. Like, you could even somehow, I don't know how to do it, but I'm sure you could come up with a badass, the AWR logo, like behind you. You know what I'm saying? So every time you're shooting a YouTube, like this particular, thing that we're having right now, like in your background, you could have like the AWR logo, like instead of, just a plain white wall or whatever. So just an idea. I wanted to throw that out there because I know you're up in your game with YouTube. I know it's something that we want to evolve to. And I think that that's something probably relatively cheap you could do. And you could probably, with all your free time that I know you have, bro, well, you could get that shit figured out. But, so that was one of my ideas. I just know how you're up in your game, and I think that that's something that could be pretty cool to, show throughout like YouTube that, we're evolving in every aspect, right?
Yeah. So there's been some pretty significant life changes recently that you know about. And so today kind of like the Band-Aid got ripped off. So, that's both hard for me, but it also kind of now allows me to have more free time is the wrong word. It allows me to prioritize or move around the free time I do have into more contiguous blocks. And so I know that long term, the best way to really at least onboard new demand out in the real world or push a message outwardly is not through X. Not that it's bad, not that we will ever stop, right? We are actually getting some good traction this week in terms of new follows and
100%,
people paying attention. But I do want to figure out how to, I don't know, have kind of like this community chat, like, and I was thinking about you, Wes, like this fireside chat or just, where we invite people on and we just kind of get to know them and it can just kind of build and like into like almost like this video documentary of this community trying to figure out how to build financial security. And it's totally okay if like on day one or the first episode or whatever, how do I word? Not that it's a shit show, but like if it's just like these people trying to figure it out, like we get to come back and reflect and be like, look what we've done in a year. Because look what we've done in like 4.5 months. Look what we have done. People recognize this now. The attention in the last 3 to 4 weeks of our community continuing to show up, continuing to build, and something that they care about is starting to get recognized. People are starting to say we're battle tested. So if we can continue to go, and I understand it's hard. I understand it's not easy to just, be like, hey, there's something that you care about. but also, we have real lives. We have babies.
Yeah.
We're having them right now, or, jobs and stuff. Let's figure out how to channel more time into this passion. If we can keep going little by little, then we will have opportunities to grow on YouTube. So like,
Yeah.
I don't know, somehow like it almost like it could start bi-weekly, or it could even start monthly to start, just to give us more capacity. But yeah, like stepping up our YouTube game and trying to organize more contiguous time to go into it, I think would be huge.
Yeah, I think that, because the YouTube, if you do like the YouTube shorts too, obviously they could be shared across Instagram and TikTok, because those are 30 seconds or less, or 60 seconds or less.
Yeah.
So, those could obviously be done. I think the YouTube, like I say, I know you brought it up in the past, so I just think that is something that we can totally hit on. And I'm all game for, I do have a camera. I've just used for Zoom meetings. I've never done like a YouTube or, produced a video for instance, like HLS Crypto did an interview with the Ask Girl. So I don't know how they construct all that and how they get your face up on there and do all that with the screens. I'm not that tech savvy when it comes to that sort of stuff. But I think, again, coming back to the green screen thing, I think that would be cool to have that set up. So when you do have an interview with HLS Crypto, it's not just like your white background. You could have like the AWR logo in the background. And like I say, I don't know how complex that is. Maybe that's something like way far beyond what I'm dreaming of. But, dream big, right?
That's what we're doing. That's why we're here.
Exactly. So yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. I mean, that's gonna give you like, it's gonna like just, yeah. Like I say, I see you evolving, getting more comfortable behind the camera. This is like the next step. Get your green screen. It's like $100. I don't know. Get it set up behind your computer, and boom. I don't know how to figure out. Maybe you got a tech buddy. You're probably a decent tech guy, right? You could probably get it figured out pretty quickly, and then just get the logo up on there.
I'm a decent tech guy, but. Even if it doesn't look great, the first episode, progress is progress, and being able to demonstrate progress is hugely valuable.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, exactly. I mean, who cares? Yeah, what that first episode looks like, but yeah, it's definitely.
Oh, sorry, I accidentally muted you. I was approving Cyborg, and I hit mute. Go ahead, Wes.
Oh, yeah. If he wants to speak right now, too, always interrupt me, because me, I start going on and on and on. So just cut my ass off.
No. Hey, Cyborg, are you? Do you have the mic? We want to hear more from you, Wes.
Yes, there we go.
Hey, Cyborg, you're a speaker. Come say hi. Come introduce yourself. I see you unmuted.
Hey.
Oh, I think I heard someone. You're muted again. Tell you what, Cyborg, let us know when you're going. We want to hear.
Yeah, you came in for a second, Cyborg. You came in for a second, and we heard your voice, but then it went blank again.
Go. How about this, Wes? Go ahead, keep going, Cyborg. When you get it working out, just jump in.
Yeah, exactly. Just interrupt my ass.
So what else is going on, Wes?
Let's see. Okay, so the green screen thing, obviously, I think that'd be cool. I think it's something that you should definitely put on the list. Freaking get that dialed in, and that's going to be an upgrade. Let's see here. I'm probably going to go all over the place because I didn't really prioritize my notes.
No, that's okay.
Okay, so we covered the YouTube interviews. Really excited about that. I think that's like hitting on point right now. We've made a lot of noise this past couple weeks, like you were saying. So definitely the YouTube interviews was going to be a big hitting point. So definitely, I'll be sure to stay on top of HLS and Win All Day too. Hit those guys, tag those guys a couple times on X this week. See what's up with that. Okay, I know we're going to talk about the stupid CMC situation.
Oh,
we'll probably save that for the end of the day. We can end on a good note on I know you've been putting together a plan on what we could do. So yeah, we'll hit on that obviously. I guess I should bring up, we did have a couple people pop in a couple weeks ago, right? We were doing the cherry trending thing. I'm kind of beginning to think that maybe those dudes might have been like working for that company or something. I could be completely wrong. I don't know. It seemed like they were kind of like trying to, get us to go. And then all of a sudden they're just disappeared, right?
Yeah. So here's what we have done and we've been successful in. So we do have a noisy community. We do have a community that is able to, make itself known in other people's posts. And so we have been trying to target people that I think might be Murad whisperers, people that have his ear. And not that I necessarily think that Murad is going to take a position in AWR. Maybe he has, maybe he will never. Not that I think he's looking to pick up more positions, but we have had more success, more traction when targeting Murad whisperers, whether people in SPX community, whether they're in the Giga community, whatever community, than we have targeting any KOLs. And the only KOL interactions we have had have essentially been like, okay, give me a bunch of supply. So I bring this all up. I bring this all up because we have attracted the attention of Brett WTFF, which is the Murad Whisperer. Forgot why I originally brought this up, but what was your question, Wes?
Sorry, I got my
Hey,
son over here.
No, he's welcome. He's part of the family.
Vincent, you cannot have that. Trying to grab my sour beer.
Okay, fair.
Let's see, where were we?
Look at his face. He hit the gate.
I lost my train of thought there for a second because they came rushing in on me. Vincent, sorry guys.
No, that's good.
Okay. Oh, well, I'm glad that you did bring up Brett because I actually had something that I wanted to mention about that. I know he mentioned the whale channel.
Yeah, cherry trending and stuff. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, that's right, the cherry trending. That's where we were at. Yeah, so, it just seems like it just doesn't seem like money well spent, right? Like the more we talked about it last week, we thought that it might be a better situation than to get Raiders because Raiders could never really give you a legitimate answer as to what they could do. So we were thinking digitized stuff might be a way to go. But then after hearing from Brett, and I'm not just going to say, I'm just going to take one person's advice, but after hearing from him, I trust his judgment. I think he's probably been in this game quite a long time. At least he sounds like he has been. And to say that would be, pretty much a waste of money. And we've had other people say the same thing, that our money would be better just saved and spent on, doing a listing with, CoinMarketCap.
Yeah.
So that's just what I want to touch on. Maybe, the whale channel thing. I know he mentioned it. So maybe it isn't a bad idea, Chris. I know that, I love that our community is completely open regardless. It doesn't matter if you're holding frickin' 10 tokens or holding 20 million of them. Everybody is equal in the community. But I definitely, if Brett is saying, there might be a benefit to having, that whale channel and talking amongst of like what could be some of the plans. And then you could bring them down to like, it's not a bad idea. I guess is just what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you recognize those whales, the people that are holding 2% or 1.5%. I don't even know how you even begin to, I guess you just ask the community, but I have no idea on how that is done.
Yeah. So I think there's more weight we can put into Brett's, guidance. So Murad has specifically created a post, which I have for account reasons and to kind of groom who we target on X, that says you should follow these accounts, and Brett is one of them. And so in my mind, Murad's essentially telling us who we need to target to get word to him, right? But if Murad is saying target Brett to get word to me, and Brett's saying, okay, don't spend on like short-term pumps, which is something we've always been about, kind of essentially. I think there's a lot of weight kind of into his words. So with that being said, and we'll touch on CoinMarketCap here in a sec. So, but let me talk about the whale chat for a sec. Or actually, let me talk about CoinMarketCap. So I'm writing a proposal for us to approve purchasing a listing of CoinMarketCap. But and we'll go to a vote on X, right? And part of this is how to actually fund it too. And that's probably the more important part. You know, we released an article on sustainable funding engines. And I've successfully been able to, since I was approved to be an LP, you know, in the past 2 to 3 days, be a liquidity provider, with the community wallet. In the past 2 to 3 days, I've extracted, I don't know, like $15 from, you know, people that are selling on us in volatile trades. People that probably are not family members, which is fantastic, you know. Takes more liquidity out of the system, and it's money that we can save for CoinMarketCap, cherry trending, you know, buying plushies for every family member. But part of it, and the proposal will be to have family members, say those that would like to donate, can. And I plan on matching donations for however much money or AWR, whatever. It will have to be in AWR. I will plan on matching, you know, 1-to-1 if the community wants to donate to this listing as part of this proposal. And I think that's the most important part, knowing that, you know, empowering the community that, you know, I'd imagine everyone would rather just let someone else donate or let someone else's funds grow AWR. But it comes back to that guy who bought two like extra large pizzas with, like, I don't know, 10,000 Bitcoin or whatever. It validates it legitimizes our community, the approach to it, the value in AWR. When family members are willing to step up with their own funds, donate to a cause to grow, all will retire. And so, coming back to what Brett said, I'm less interested in creating a whale chat, at least to start. I'm more interested in creating kind of like bespoke, like maybe chat rooms for people to, like, okay, if you're interested in donating, here's what this effort is. Let's have a communication on it, and let's have a chat on it and understand the pros and cons of this. And it's totally cool if anyone wants to join this chat room or, you know, this conversation and donate to it. I'll set it up so that it's, you know, I guess it's exclusive. If you don't join it, you don't join it, but it will be very much focused on people donating their own funds if they want to a specific cause. And I think that's really kind of the point of Brett's idea around a whale chat. It's less about an exclusive club for people that own 1%, 2%, 3%, I don't know, however much percent of AWR, more about providing a channel for people that are willing to spend money and move AWR forward faster. It's more of an accelerant, you know, for people to move AWR forward. So I'm writing a CoinMarketCap proposal based on, you know, the information you found, Wes, on why CoinMarketCap actually might be valuable, you know, now that we can better articulate it. That will, both approve for us to spend on it eventually, two, we'll set out the guidelines for how we will fund it. You know, it will be through the liquidity pool generating money, it will be through donations, it will be through the merch store, etc. And then three, after we've secured the funds, the right time to purchase it. And, you know, I know we're kind of past week has been pleasant, but we need kind of a bigger, more confirmed trend reversal upwards before we, you know, plunk $5,000 of donated money, you know, money we generated through a liquidity provider. I don't know if we sold $5,000 in merch. So, just coming back to it, I think we will have like bespoke, maybe donation chats instead of an exclusive whale chat in my mind. But what I will do is, since we're starting with CoinMarketCap, which is, you know, $5,000, is a pretty penny, I'll record who goes in and who donates, and I'll have an idea that, you know, I'll anonymize of who may be interested in donating in the future or may be considered a whale. Does that answer some questions, Wes?
I think that's definitely legit. I think that's a good way to go about it too. Yeah, set up a channel where people are going to think about donating. Yeah, and then obviously I know that getting a proposal into these guys and not offering their full 5K and whatever, some sort of mixture right now while the market is still kind of iffy. I know that I forget who was speaking on that last week or the week before, but was a genius idea.
Yeah, and so, you know, the sooner we can, you know, I'm almost done with the proposal. I wanted it up today, but I kind of also moved. My life's done today, so hopefully it's like tomorrow or the next day we'll vote on it, and then we'll start figuring out how to generate the funds.
Yeah, awesome. While Sandy is still here, I want to give a big thanks to her for this next one. And I brought it up to you, Chris, and I know that you thought it was a good idea too. And this is just just where I think the snowball effect starts happening, as far as like the content creation, the excitement, and that's the giveaways. Sandy had mentioned it. I don't know anything about the staking thing, but and I don't know exactly how that works, but I know that was also brought up. But the thing that excites me is the giveaways, and I think that for instance, who creates the most artistic AWR sign could be a certain giveaway, and my idea for that was either a t-shirt or equivalent of AWR tokens. So let's say a t-shirt was $25, then whatever $25 worth of tokens of AWR could also be received if somebody wanted to choose to do that over the t-shirt. That was just something I thought would be really cool. Because and it could be generated by the community wallet. That was another idea. So it's not, you're not having to come out of pocket yourself, or, we're just sourcing this money out of the air. Because I already think that we have such an awesome, excited community, that this would just keep the fire burning, so to speak. It would make things pretty fun. I think we could see a lot more artistic, photos. I just think this is not only are we reinvesting into our own community, which is freaking awesome, but I think it might just that person that may be questioning whether or not they want to do a photo, I'm going to do it this week. I know I can get a t-shirt for this, or even somebody that's on the outside that's not even an AWR holder yet. They see the challenge. They're like, oh, this is kind of cool. Let's make a cool sign and freaking, and let's see who could get the coolest background. Or maybe you combine 5 different awesome ass backgrounds that aren't AI generated. They're real places, obviously. And maybe you get maybe there's a couple different tiers. Maybe you complete 5 different objectives. Like, you know, you get a picture with a family member, you get a picture with a friend, you get a picture with your new this, that, whatever. And then that could be like worth a hoodie, you know, and then like the hoodie, you know, is worth $50. You could have 50 W's AWR, whatever. And like I say, I think it could be generated by the community wallet. So it's not like you're having to come out of pocket for it, which I'm totally all for that. I think that just something, like I say, it creates excitement. It creates a challenge. And I think it would just it's going to help spread our word. It's like it's our own way of marketing ourselves even more. And we're investing within our own community. Like, we know the people that are going to be doing this aren't just going to take their, you know, it's not like, you know, $100 worth of coins or whatever is going to make a huge thing if they decide to dump it. But these people, I think the people that would get involved in this are the people who are going to be believers. They're like, I'm not going to just do this for a hoodie. Like, I believe in this movement, and this is awesome that they're doing this. So I think the giveaway thing, Sandy bringing it up, I think she brought up an SOS or something. And then I started looking into it myself, and I was like, this is just genius, in my opinion, because you're rewarding your own people, and it just makes, like, especially during these times where it's been so hard to hold on to some of our core people have gotten freaking sucked down by the Red Sea, dude. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I'm talking about. This shit has been a freaking catastrophe.
Yeah, and you know, so you're right. This also comes back to what I'm saying. Like, we gotta offer more than just persist. And so, like the gamification of it and like rewarding people for that, I think is interesting. Like, I'm for it. Like, if what we're doing, I think, helps us tell our story, push our message outwardly, I think, you know, I'm interested in doing it. I propose that we I say we put a vote on the CoinMarketCap proposal first before we figure out how to do this, but I'm interested.
I agree.
I think maybe what we can do is try to figure out how to run both side by side, and that will provide kind of more capacity, more pathway to enabling both features, both, you know, request needs that the community needs to be met at the same time. I think we got to do the CoinMarketCap proposal first, but I love the idea. Like, I get so hyped when someone sends me a picture or a video, and like, I'm just like, this is it. Like, these are people, everyday people, trying to figure it out to build something for themselves.
Exactly. And you know, I 100% agree. Like, we have, you know, obviously there's priorities. You can only do so much at once. So, you know, true family members are going to understand. We can't just get this up and running tomorrow or whatever. Like, CMC is, I think, probably going to be the priority. We'll obviously have that vote in X, and I'm sure that it probably is. It probably should be at this point. We've heard it from numerous, you know, and obviously we did our deep dive into it to find out exactly what it was all about, finding out there's an actual community that belongs to CMC. So it's just another way to have more exposure. And there's just those people that are sticky out there that just don't think that anything is real unless it's on there. I mean, let's be real. That's kind of what some of that comes down to too.
Yeah.
So the giveaway thing, I think that, you know, maybe I could try to obviously come up with some ideas, like some different tiers, you know, and just throw those ideas out there. We can all collaborate and put some ideas out there of like what we think, you know, kind of like I said, the sign thing, like, oh, who can come up with the most artistic sign, you know, take a picture with your, you know, we could have a couple different tiers of prizes, and maybe we could do it once a week, you know, so it's not like it's happening every day. It's once a week, you know, we do a giveaway to who had the best sign this week. Maybe next week it was whatever, you know, and like I say, obviously we don't need to do this right this second, but let's put it on the books. I think it's awesome. I think it's only going to help push our message outwardly while making it fun for the people that are already here. You know, I think it's a win-win situation. Like, there's just no losing.
Yeah. I got it down. I wrote it down. Let's make it happen. We got to get to the coin market cap proposal, which should happen
Yep,
soon, and
yep,
then
100%.
figure it out. And we could just do a test run. I could be like, okay, I'll buy someone a sweatshirt and with that has whatever picture or something.
Yeah, and and that's the other thing too that could be capitalized on, that is that whoever that winner is for that week, that's something that you could do on a YouTube short. So it's like, you're announcing the winner on the YouTube short. Now you're posting the YouTube short on X. Now you're posting that YouTube short on Instagram and Facebook and, all the other media. So this is like, now you're like building off of, now we're going outwardly of X because you decided to hit this YouTube shit. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's going to be freaking genius. So, even when you do the CMC thing, even when we get this money together and we pay these assholes for freaking not giving us our thumbs up that we deserve. Because believe me, I've been there every single damn day right now and they haven't fucking gone up. Excuse my language for any youngsters listening to this, but that's what it is. That's the reality. They're freaking crooked. They're crooked. And so, they're not going to give us our shit unless we pay the money. So that being said, when we finally do this, you get on the YouTube short again, and not only do you put it on X just like you normally would, you make your awesome announcement, public service announcement, all oil retires now finally listed on CMC, blah, blah, whatever. But then you also do a YouTube short of it. You post that on X as well. You freaking get it on all the media. And so I think that's this is how the evolution of Chris is going to happen.
Let's do it.
You know what I'm saying? Like this is and I'm all about it too. Like I'll hop on the YouTube. I haven't done anything, but like I say, we could do our first little like Zoom meeting. I have a camera. We could do that, or we could try to get one of these interviews. Maybe after you do a couple with a few of these people, maybe we could try to get a group of us to go. And we'll try to organize and orchestrate how to get these cameras linked up, because I'm not savvy on that. I do know how to jump onto a Zoom meeting. I do have a camera, but I'm not like savvy with the whole YouTube hookup shit, but I'd be willing to set a few hours aside out of a day if somebody's like, okay, let's try to get this together and do it. I'm totally down. I'm open to it.
I got it. I'm excited. I'll work my capacity there, but let's do it. I'm excited. You got me hyped up.
Yeah, dude. Because like I say, you're evolving on the camera already, and it's just like a couple little tweaks that aren't going to cost anything are going to like just up your game so much, and people are going to be like, this. They're not. I'm not saying they don't take you serious now, but when you're seeing that and people see that, they're going to be like, dude, this dude is serious about his shit. I already know that you are. You don't have to prove anything to me. But I'm just talking about for the millions of people that are out there that have no clue what the hell's going on. They see this. You know what I'm saying? You drew me in already to the coin when you doxed yourself and put yourself out there. I'm like, who is doing this, right? So this is just another evolution of you.
Let's do it.
So I'm excited, dude. I'm excited for you. I'm glad that, like I say, I think about, all these things throughout the week and like, what can we come up with? And, we're, like I say, you already know, we're always evolving. Every day we try to. That's enough on that. Green screens, Chris, YouTube, Chris, that's what it's going to be. You got interviews, you got shit happening. It's freaking amazing.
Let's do it.
Let's see here. What else have we got? Oh yeah. Here's another one for you, Chris. I love bringing the pressure on, dude. We need a new sign for Chris. That's what we need. I know I asked about it last time. I asked about it. Whether it be in a suit, your gym outfit, your new house, whatever you got going on, dude, we need a new photo from Chris. What's up with that? All right. I just got to bring that up.
I will make this happen.
I have no doubt, bro. I know how busy you are. I know you got the new job. I know you're going through all these life crazy ass changes. And, honestly, it's like, I said before, it's like, I believe things happen for a reason. And, it's awesome that, there is this group of people here that can keep you occupied. It's good, man. It's good to be busy. It's good to have some things that are like going to keep your mind, not dwelling on BS, but just like keep going forward, right?
I'm going to make it right now. We'll get it.
The YouTube thing is never ending. I think it's just a great idea, because we talked about it in the past too. I've got it written in my notes here, a video of getting a Phantom app and buying AWR, because there is no super easy way to buy AWR if you are not a little bit crypto savvy. So getting a YouTube short or getting a YouTube that's maybe 2 or 3 minutes long or however short it can be, to show people, what we could do to download the app to be able to buy AWR. I don't know how to do that. I'm not savvy when it comes to like hooking the screen of my phone up to my computer so I could videotape that sort of thing. Or if you need a third-party camera to record your screen or however that works, I don't know. I'm not savvy on that. But I definitely wanted to bring it up because I know it's something we've been wanting to do, which leads me to my next thing about being able to buy AWR on the website. I don't know if that's impossible. I know we brought it up in the past, but obviously if there's any way we could do that, I mean, I would be willing to spend money on that. Like that's something that we should probably prioritize to be like, hey, if it costs $1,000 for us to get this credit card linked up to our website so you can just charge your Visa to buy AWR, then you know what? That's probably a pretty smart investment to have.
How to buy AWR on site. I do have a note on that. I think I have that. I need to check. I think I have it.
Yep, I know we've talked about it before, and for sure. I definitely say, let's take another second look at that because obviously that's huge, right? Because I mean that's how Trump did his thing. I mean, freaking millions of retail, regular Joe Blows, freaking had no idea what to do. Were jumping in and jumping on because they were able just to put in their Visa debit card number and get the coin.
I think Sandy brought this
if that's
up
a possibility,
too. Did you bring it up, Sandy?
Yeah, it's I know. Yeah, I know other people. So don't give me credit on it. You probably even have mentioned it about the website because I know that was.
I've talked about the user experience. Like I've talked about how like long term, like all that matters is like. At least from the token aspect, like we always need to think about how to improve the user experience. I understand, like very much right now, it's difficult. I've talked to Tiara, and like she's had to onboard her friends, which is cool. Like she's onboarded. Like Tiara has got 6 people to hold signs, family and friends, and of those, I know 2 are AWR holders now. Maybe even more. I just know from what I've talked about from her, 2 of them are AWR holders, but she's had to like onboard them. Like it needs to be, as you said, like either like self-explanatory if you go to the website, or like we need to be able to send someone, a family member needs to send someone like a YouTube video that's like, okay, watch this. It takes like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. If you have questions, like message me back, but like this is it. Like this is the explainer. So we always need to think about kind of that user experience long term. Yeah,
definitely. That's definitely the website, AWR. Buy AWR easily. This is going back to this. You know what I'm about to say next.
Oh my gosh.
You already know.
Tell me.
1 click. Motherfuckers want 1 click.
1 click. I don't know if you could do 1 click. I mean.
You know what I'm saying though? Yeah, it's like, okay, dude, I want to type. Boom, I hit the click on the debit card, and bam, you freaking you're in. You're buying AWR. You're fucking retired. Excuse my language, but you know what I'm saying? You 1 click and retired, baby. Let's go. Okay.
I don't know if you could 1 click debit card. Like, yeah. I don't know how to do that. Like because you can't even 1 click, like if you're techno savvy already, like you can't even click, like, your Phantom wallet.
But you know what I'm saying?
Log into your wallet,
we got to find the easy way for it to be able to be purchased on the website. So if there's something that costs money in order to do it, I think it's like something that we should like prioritize. You know what I'm saying? Obviously CMC, I think at this point is the number 1 priority. We brought it up week after week. It's probably something we finally start funding and get it done. Because just like you say, we're not going to be late. We get it done now, and then there's just no worries. It's done. It's out of the way. If they dump coins on us, whatever, it is what it is. It's not, it's something that needs to get done. It's something that people freaking want. It's something that people that don't even know who we are going to somehow find us. I do believe that. But anyway, on with that shit. Let's see. What else do we got? We got Chris with a new photo. Got to see that. We got plenty of short videos we've been talking about. Oh, yeah. Giving thanks to the people who have already recognized us. So that's another one I had brought up. Chris, you make a short video giving thanks to Suppoman. You make a short video giving thanks to HLS Crypto. Just something simple, 60 seconds. You're like, hey, this is Chris from AWR. I'm sure you're going to come up with something awesome. But I think that's another awesome thing that you're evolving with evolution. Get on the YouTube. The YouTube thing is going to be super personable. People are going to recognize that. They're going to see your face. They're going to hear your voice. They're going to see you're genuine. And they're going to be like, okay, this is legit. So I think that, doing a YouTube, right now it's like you do it on X, right? It's like, thanks, Suppoman, blah, 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 blah. This is the next step. This is the next level. You bump it up to the YouTube short.
I could probably get this going tonight.
100%, dude. I know you can, man. This is game on for you.
We'll make it happen. This is like,
soon. You're getting comfortable. You've been doing a lot of YouTubes now. Don't get comfortable, Chris. You said it, damn it.
Don't get comfortable. We grow when we're not comfortable. So yeah, maybe I need to be like green screening to get uncomfortable again. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Green screen, baby, all day. Put yourself up on that freaking 50th level freaking skyscraper. Or freaking put yourself at your favorite location, dude.
Let's get it.
Let's see here. What else do we got? Stan Crypto. Maybe you could talk to him again. I don't know what your relationship is with him, but he puts out a lot of great content. So maybe, trying to hit him up and being like, hey, man, you want to do another interview or, you want to do an update, blah, 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 So maybe he wouldn't be a bad one. I don't know. Am I out of line with that one? You got something going on with him or no?
I will reach out. Like I haven't talked to him or... We've had lots of interaction since our interview. I mean, very grateful for it. I think it's a great introductory interview to All Will Retire. But yeah, I'll have to reach out and see what's up.
Yeah, exactly. And do like a follow-up. You have the introductory. Now it's like, what has matured with All Retire in 4 months? Like, all the you could just kind of nail on all the bullet points and on things we've accomplished and all that. Let's see here. So we got the giveaway thing. So I think, like I said, to iterate on that one again, I'll try to come up with some ideas and maybe other family members that are listening to this or will listen to this can come up with some cool ideas for challenges, and then that way, when we do finally get this CMC thing figured out, we'll have some cool challenges already in place and we'll be able to all right, let's get this rolling. Let's frickin', this week's going to be our best AWR sign challenge.
Heck yeah.
So let's see here. I think that pretty much covered like everything I wanted to cover. So just to refresh, we already know about the CMC thing. We're going to discuss that. We'll figure that out. The green screen thing, you obviously seem like you're pretty keen on the idea. Like it's not a bad idea. Just like you say, get out of your comfort zone a little bit. I think it'd be awesome.
Let's do it.
You maybe figure out how to do the AWR logo in the background if you don't decide to do some crazy skyscraper scene or whatever.
Okay.
You obviously got Gustavo lined up. You've been in contact with HLS Crypto and Win All Day. So I think that's good. Giving thanks to Sandy again for bringing up the idea about the giveaway stuff. The channel on donations. Let's see here. Ways to buy AWR. Yep, I think, Chris, we have gone through all the notes. I appreciate all of your time once again. I appreciate you listening to, all of my ideas and whatever critiques.
We're all the developer of AWR. It's important that we do. Not just me, but everyone. I'm glad that you show up and you bring your passion and you show that you care about AWR and you're building it. This is what it's about.
Definitely. I enjoy it. So someone else get up here, step up, Cyberg. See if you can get back up in here, Sandy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mute myself.
Go ahead, come on up, Cyberg. Let's go ahead, try again.
Hey, how was it going?
Hey, how are you? I hear you. What's up?
I hear you. It's great to be here. I mean, Wes, you have nailed it.
He has. I'm glad everyone's here. Like, we are nailing it. We're figuring it out. It's important that we don't it's important that we don't give the agency of our dreams, our visions over to other people. And like there's so much here, there's so much potential for everyone to recognize something that's important to them, that resonates with them, but also collectively, like we're able to come together and see each other, hear each other, listen to each other, and build something for each other. And that's what's really special about this. And like, I don't see a lot of other communities doing this. I see communities trying to figure it out, but like we have it already. And it's just built from our humanity first, you know, trying to be real people, trying to connect with other real people. So we do got something special here, and we are nailing it. Sorry, Cyborg, I just had to go ahead and say that. You know, I'll just always preach how great our family is. Go ahead, jump back in.
Yeah, so I obviously love everything about AWR, but I love this feedback loop, and the way you're learning from everything, and I love it. But then when it comes to this giveaway, I love this one. You know, I was thinking that something is missing here, and I think this is the exact thing. Obviously, if it was about me, I would say I would prioritize this one over the CMC thing. But yeah, it is up to you. But I think it is great, and I love this idea.
So here's so I'm glad you shared that, and I'm glad you felt comfortable to share your preference. So here's the way I see CMC happening. Like I see us taking a vote, and remember the way we fund it will be part of that vote. And I think it will be, you know, as I said, we will never be late on like a CMC listing and unlocking, you know, any short-term demand it provides us. So we'll never be late on that. But I imagine that actually generating the funds will take longer. So we kick that off now. We kick off the voting process. But we can then, you know, kind of more in the short term, more immediate term, while we generate those funds for CMC, we can do these giveaways, Cyborg. So I think it's really a logistical thing of like, let's start the vote on CMC and like get that out of the way and generating the funds. And then, you know, like, I don't think we need to take a vote to like celebrate our family members. Like, I am happy to, you know, now that my temp job's paying some, I am happy to just be like, yeah, like, here's what I want to see this week in like a challenge. Make this photo. I will ship a sweatshirt to someone if you do this kind of thing. Like,
yes, and the challenge could be freaking done on YouTube, bro.
Yeah, and
you could freaking do the video on YouTube, put the challenge up. Oh, dude, I'm telling you, this is it right here, bro.
We're going.
I'm already dancing myself to retirement. I'm telling you.
I see you.
Let's go, baby. We're dancing ourselves to retirement right now. This is what it's about. Like constant evolution.
Slowly.
And yeah, Chris, I'm telling you, dude, I know things got to be insane in your life right now on the personal level, but this right here, dude, you got something awesome. You have an awesome following. We've created an amazing community already. It's been insane times we've dealt with. And it gets me excited just to think about what you could do, man. Like this is it right here. This is your calling, bro. The stars are aligned. The timing is right. I know it seems like a total shit show probably.
Yeah.
But in reality, dude, like this is here. This is all happening right now for a reason. Like you're probably like, God damn, it's got to be so overwhelming. But you're not going to get anything you can't handle, dude. This is it right here, bro. This is a big thing. This is a big thing, and I love that we got your back. We got your back on this, dude. So
we'll do it.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Get after it, dude. You know what I'm talking about, dude. Flex that shit. Get that all retire shirt on and flex.
So I will do that. You're hyped. You're my hype man. You're the community's hype man. But coming back to the Cyborg, I see it not that we're gonna wait to do this community give back. I think we're just gonna get the vote out this week, and then I will organize, starting the community give back like this week next week or something. We just want to do the vote. I just need to get that out of the way. And it should take hopefully like maybe an hour, 2 hours more. And we'll vote it and we'll organize it and we'll get going on that. And we'll figure out how to do this community get back together. And yeah, I'll announce the stuff on YouTube. I'll make people tune in to us on YouTube to learn the directions.
Woo, let's go. Cyberg, what's up, man? Got any more to say on that or what? I think we got a great idea here, right? Come up with some cool. Anybody in the community, come up with some good ideas of challenges. Like I say, I mean, obviously I already threw in a couple out there with the coolest AWR sign. Get some scenic backgrounds. Try to get one of the beach in the mountains. We could do stuff like that. So yeah, I think every community member. I know we got a lot of smart people in our community, so come up with some cool ideas and just throw them around on Telegram. And I think that immediately when we see something we'll be like, oh yeah, this has got to be a challenge for us. So please do pitch in.
But yeah, Cyberg, do you have anything else to say? Otherwise, we'll end it on that.
Yes, I want to say thank you, Waze, to be here, man. I love the vibe, the energy, everything about you, man.
Wes brings it. And I think Wes is right. Like, we got something special. We got to build it. Like, I'm not naive. I don't think, at least for me, what I want to accomplish, as I said, like, this is a blank slate for like everyone in terms of like understanding what financial security means to them and building it. And this was designed to very much be like the same environment, the same like protein pool in which Bitcoin grew from, and in an organic way. Like, we got to figure it out. We got to build an ecosystem of humans, of services, execute on ideas around all we're retired. But as we keep going each day, people will get more emboldened and go their own path on how to grow AWR and the way they see financial security meaning to them. And it will blossom and it will continue to grow and it will do beautiful things, but we got to build it. We got to keep showing up. We got to keep being passionate about it. So we got a great kind of petri dish of possibilities that we're working in right now.
Yep,
One
love
last
it.
thing I want to share with you, Chris.
Yeah, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think you have to be a bit careful about the way you're making relationship with these people. But
I'm sorry,
these
Cyber.
people will
You cut out.
have some sort of impact on us as well.
Yeah, can you say, so I want to make sure I understand. So you said I need to be careful with, and then you cut out on my end.
Yeah, so I was talking about how to be associated with these other people, because it does matter, because if they do something wrong, but and if we are associated with these people, then we will be impacted. So
Yeah, being new to the game, how about this? Let's see here. There's attention, and which others will say that isn't bad, even if it's negative, but it really boils down to, like, uncomfortable handling bad press, for example, but doing so takes away from so much capacity that could be better spent doing, driving AWR in a productive way. So I definitely need to be more scrupulous in who I offer closer associations with. And so I think probably what I'll also do is to help vet people and double check my sources is ask people, like, hey, can I get a couple people to check out this, if you don't post today, if you don't rate today, if you take an hour of your time to like investigate the source and it seemed like, okay, let's rock it. But that way will also, help us accelerate relationship development with individuals or communities and guard ourselves from people that are bad actors, exactly as you said, Cyborg. But I agree with you. I need to exercise better judgment in that aspect. And I'm sure we all know what we're talking about. But yeah, it is now that we're this large, but we're not large enough to just escape any individual, maybe bad association. We need to continue to, or I need to continue to exercise more scrutiny in these relationships. And I own that.
Yeah,
that's on me.
I mean, it is what it is on that. I think that's just it's a very unfortunate situation. I'm pretty sure. I think we're on the same page here. But it is what it is. You were meaning to do good. That's the bottom line too. I mean, yeah, it's a shitty situation, but what you were doing was trying to do good, and it just unfortunately was a whatever the outcome.
Yeah.
But I agree with Cyborg too. It's like, whatever. You just never know. It's unfortunate because you just never know what somebody's intentions could be. But I think all the people that we have spoken on tonight are definitely 100% legit.
Yeah.
As far as, like Gustavo and Win All Day and HLS Crypto, I truly believe all those guys are great representatives of ours, and believers in all retire.
Yeah.
So definitely comfortable with that. But yeah, I agree. That's definitely a good point, Cyborg. Definitely never can be too careful. But at the same time, it's like, you definitely don't want to, cut yourself short either. Like, sometimes opportunity, like you say, you've handled yourself in shitty situations. Sometimes, the bad publicity ends up being good in the end.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not all that in the moment. But it's like I say, I got no feelings about it. It's just a shitty situation. You were trying to be a good guy and fucking somebody took advantage. But that's this world we live in, unfortunately.
We grow and we learn. So.
Yep, exactly. So throw all that bullshit out the window. Enough of that Bill crap. Let's get back on this YouTube short thing.
Let's get back on it. All right.
We don't need any more of that. We already attacked all that BS. There's not going to be any more hiccups in the situation. That guy's out of the picture. Let's get with it.
We'll do it.
You already know.
I just want to thank everyone for being here, coming as they are, sharing their passions for AWR, but really offering your time. Remember, that's your most valuable commodity. And all the time you are spending in All Will Retire, make sure it's for you first and foremost. We're so glad you're here. I care greatly about it. And I want to hear how we can make it even more valuable for you and put you on a path of financial empowerment. I don't pretend to be anything we're not. We're learning. We're trying to figure it out too. But we got a wonderful community that wants to hear from you and help you. So with that being said, I hope to see you soon. Talk to you later. Night.